And in this video we are reacting to the internet is dragging DaBaby again. Now over here we do love some DaBaby hate. I don't know, he just annoying. I like when he was in his cooking phase after the downfall of him. He probably still got money, so he's probably still good and well off. But his personality, I feel I could kind of see through that, and I feel everybody can kind of see through that shit. So slander over here, unemployed news over here. Let's get it.
She been comment me.
Now, DaBaby is currently on the receiving end of some backlash due to a music video he dropped yesterday. I want to have a little conversation about the backlash and what's actually going on. Now, for all my people who've been tuned into all the uploads, you guys know that yesterday I dropped a video on the young woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, who lost her life in that stabbing. Very horrible situation. That story honestly shook me to my core, and I just feel so bad about it because it could have all been prevented had the perpetrator been dealt with by the system. Now, DaBaby actually ended up dropping a tribute to that young woman yesterday in a music video that he put out. Now, really quickly, DaBaby is of course a rapper who was very popular a few years ago. I'm sure most people have at least seen his face or name or heard one of his songs. He's
I got one this time. Bear with me. Stay along for the process. Right here. This is him. Quick, like that. Didn't take too long this time.
From Charlotte himself, where this tragedy unfortunately happened. Now, yesterday he hopped on social media and he promoted this music video he dropped called Save Me. The music video, which starts off with showing off the surveillance footage of the death of Irina Zarutska, has been getting a lot of backlash. Some of the social media outrage comments include people saying things like, DaBaby is actually sick and I'm actually gonna have to delete this app, like ninjas really are not well. Or this other one, which was a response to his tweet promoting the song, where someone said DaBaby about to get canceled while already being canceled.
Oh shit! Funny when you
think about it, because is DaBaby actually capable of getting canceled when he already got canceled years ago? That's a good question, right? That aside, there's been a huge debate.
It's crazy because he got canceled when everybody was doing that. Everybody's canceled, like Oprah. You know what I mean? So like no one really got canceled because it was like everybody was just trying to cancel somebody. It's almost like the Kai thing or the streamer thing. Every week someone's getting canceled to the point where, all right, no one's really canceled. It's kind of like that. And he actually was canceled and the shit stuck. Like we wasn't bugging with him like that. So.
Whether or not this video was appropriate, especially at this time because this tragedy happened so recently. If you see my video from yesterday on the tragedy, you guys already know how I feel about it. I just think it's so terrible that the system failed this young woman so bad. And honestly, something about that story still sits so heavy on my heart. I can't explain it, but I guess it's just the humanity in me, right? Now, I watched the music video that DaBaby dropped, so I want to give you guys my personal opinion on it and a little breakdown. Now, initially, when I seen it from the outside, like the promotion, without watching the video itself, my initial reaction was, really, nigga? Like, really, ninja? Especially considering the fact that how the entire video starts off is with the surveillance footage of the actual situation. And
yeah, something like this you just don't touch. Don't touch this. You're not Michael. The only person that can touch this is Michael Jackson. Now, you are not Mike Jack, buddy. You are not. You are a PT Cruiser. People try and do, or artists try and do certain things like this to get back in good graces of people that are dumb enough not to know they're trying to get back in good graces, if that makes sense. He sees something tragic, oh, I'm gonna make a tribute to it. Like, oh, but at the same time, he is from Charlotte. He is from Charlotte, so okay.
Trail of it. I think if you're gonna be on some Joyner Lucas type shit, actually do it all the way. I know that Joyner gets a lot of criticism for his videos because people think he's corny and all that, but honestly,
nah, Joyner is his videos every time they're good. That's good money right there every single time because he's introspective. This nigga talking about let's go. It didn't do a killing on camera. You reenact the killing, bro. Get off the screen.
Appreciate how much effort he puts into his videos, especially in this day and age when music videos aren't really that impactful or beneficial for an artist's career as, let's say, short form content. Now, when it comes to DaBaby, I think
I'm hating like shit.
That differently, considering the fact that first impressions are important. And if you're gonna do a tribute to such a tragic story, the last thing you'd want is for people to misconstrue your intentions by thinking you're trying to clout chase. So that's number one. Also, while we're at number one, I do want to mention that DaBaby actually put the GoFund link for Irina Zarutska at the top of the description, which is something that I myself didn't do in my video. Like, I didn't even know that there was a GoFundMe available. So at the time of me dropping this video, I'll not only put it at the top of this video's description, but I'll also put it in the video from yesterday. So right there, DaBaby did something positive, which has inspired me to take some action, which is ultimately going to help the family.
You see how right now I can't hate because he did something good, and you gotta take accountability. That's a good job for DaBaby. I don't have any clap sound effects, but good job.
This time of grief. Number two, let's talk about the concept of the entire music video. So in a nutshell, DaBaby is positioning himself as the hero. Like, he's saying, if I was there, I would have been able to intervene before it happened and Irina would have survived, which is exactly what happens in the video. Right before the criminal stabs her, DaBaby stops him by holding his arm, right? And then DaBaby himself, the killer, and Irina end up walking out the train as the authorities are standing right outside. So right there, my interpretation is he's introducing the alternative universe of what could have happened if he was there. Also, I do think it's important to note that I don't personally think that DaBaby was making it so much about himself, but I think he made himself serve as a symbol or a representation of the viewer, you or I, being the hero.
Yeah, because people was all saying like, oh, why didn't anybody do anything? Why didn't anybody? So he's like, everybody's saying this, so what if I just turn into everybody's comments and make a video about it? And it was in my city. Wrong move.
Situation that can otherwise play out differently, like let's say a tragic ending. And then the last shot in the music video is the killer, DaBaby, and the actress who plays Irina all sitting down together, which I don't know what was supposed to be the representation of that particular shot, because that's not usually how situations like this end, but that's beside the point, right? Overall, this music video has been getting a very strong negative reaction, and you know, there's two sides to this conversation. I do think there's a, tone deaf side to this, because like we stated, I don't think including that beginning was appropriate at all. I was watching the news about this particular tragedy, and the family stated that they didn't want people to actually share the surveillance footage, like the uncut raw murder, which makes a lot of sense, obviously.
Yeah, we don't want to share the surveillance video, but I'm gonna share it. But don't worry, I'm gonna put the GoFundMe up. That's what DaBaby said. And then he said, let's go, and ran off.
Horrible what happened, right? So one of the unfortunate things of DaBaby doing something like this is it does bring awareness to the story, and that's good, but it does also attract an audience of people to the tragedy who don't necessarily feel compassion or care enough to do research on it, and perhaps that puts a spotlight on, let's say, the actual footage, which we don't want. But then again, I spoke on it as well, and I showed parts of the surveillance footage when I was reporting on the story, and the same thing could be said for me as well, or anyone else covering it, right? I don't want to say that me and DaBaby are different, but what I can tell you, since I'm speaking right now, is why I covered the story, and it was because it personally moved me emotionally, right? I got really shook when I heard about that particular story, and when I saw how she ended up getting killed, right?
Don't worry, bro, I got you. And you're a YouTuber. When you drop something, it's not a spotlight on it. Everybody on YouTube is dropping it, and you didn't know, just like he didn't know. But at the same time, you kind of, man, fuck that nigga, man.
But when it comes to DaBaby, I don't know if he's spoken about it outside the music.
You can tell he didn't feel anything about it by the ending. He's trying to be all introspective like this, standing in the middle of both of them, like there's nothing clever, nothing. Oh, okay, he's trying to be on his Jordan Lucas, his J. Cole, his we all come together. Nah. That was bad.
Social media accounts or whatnot, but maybe that's the point of the music, right? So I do want to say that I understand why he's getting all this pushback. When it comes to things like this, I think there's a way to do it, because what he did isn't necessarily wrong, but I think with some more, I don't want to say finesse, but he could have made it connect more had he done it in a little bit of a different way. As an example, and I don't know if he did this, but maybe tease it a little more before speaking about how the death moved you as someone who's a father and someone who comes from
not just randomly drop a bombshell.
And another aspect of this is DaBaby is someone who, despite being canceled in a lot of different spaces, he actually has a noticeable enough presence, visibility, fame, but most importantly of all, money. So more than just dropping a music video, I think one of the things that could have helped here is getting in touch with the lawmakers and the movers and the shakers on the legal side in the state, right, of North Carolina, and then possibly help create a ripple effect of some type of positive change in the direction of keeping people like DeCarlos Brown, who was the killer, away from the streets so women and children can walk
fuck this
safely
nigga, man.
in these streets. That would, in my opinion, be the biggest power move he could make. And maybe this is something he's working towards behind the scenes. I have no clue, right? I'm just trying to plant ideas into the universe. And then on the other side, I don't think him doing this was entirely bad, no matter the particular approach. Because I think one of the things, especially in the social media age, that really helps a great cause is awareness. Irina Zarutska's story has gone global, and it makes me happy to see that people are coming together to grieve her. But more awareness ultimately does something important, which is more people find out about what happened. And ultimately, people finding out about her story is good, right? And I'm happy that he's using his voice for something positive. So on one hand, you or I could criticize him for how he did it, like the fact that he's putting himself as a hero, or I should say he's portraying himself as kind of like the hero. He could have saved the day and whatnot in that particular music video that he dropped. But at the same time, is it really a bad message? I don't really think so at all. Because after watching the full music video, my takeaway wasn't anything negative. My takeaway was be more socially aware when you're out in public, not only for yourself, but for your fellow humans. So there's a situation where I could prevent a woman or let's say a child from getting hurt at the hands of another evil.
Okay, let me break it down real fast. I don't like him because there's videos that have been going around from before of him and me. I have a spot for like homeless people, you know, people that are in need. Like every time I'm right here in LA and I'm driving around, there's a lot of homeless people. Like I was in In-N-Out and a homeless lady came up and she was going to people car to car, asked for money. I gave her money. Like that's the type of person I am. I'll give them money if I have money. But obviously, if you got a veteran hat, I'm looking at your shoes look kind of new, or I see you every single day right here and you walk off and disappear. It's kind of like, but like certain people, I see you sleep here when I drive by. I see you awake asking for money. I see you not even asking for money. I'll give you money because you need money. You know what I mean? But that's the type of person I am. But he was like beating up on a homeless person one time. He was forcing them to promote or something like that. Like say like, oh, you're the best rapper or something like that. And then he was talking crazy about certain communities and he said certain things about, I'm just like, he's just a little too wild, a little too reckless. That's my whole backstory on why I don't really mess with a dude like that. But
Human being, I would want to step up because that's the right thing to do. I do, however, want to add a very important precaution to what I just said, which is just make sure that you personally are safe in the process of trying to stop another person from getting hurt, because as much as we want to be heroes in this world, let's not forget about ourselves because we all have family to come home to at the end of the day. I think for DaBaby, the biggest thing here is that there was a lack of, I guess, like, I just didn't feel connected to the cause, or I want to say the music video and what he was trying to do here as much as I should have, in my opinion. Because in a time like this, the last thing you'd want is send the signal that you're only doing this to boost yourself up, which is what a lot of people are saying. Now, there's one thing that I'm very confused about as well, which is DaBaby was recently featured on a song called Save Me, so it has the same exact title as this tribute to Irina Zarutska, and that's where things get muddy, because now it could be viewed as, did you title the song Save Me because it goes right along with the concept, or because it has the same exact title as this other song you're featured on, which could perhaps lead to more attention to that song. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know, I'm not really accusing him of doing that, but I'm only sharing the optics, meaning how things look from the outside, because I would assume that DaBaby was genuinely moved by this tragedy like we all were, right? I really don't want to sit here and talk about this in a way where I imagine that he did all this just for some clout, because that'd be crazy. I mean, yes, you never know, especially because his track record does come into play, okay? And I'm not one to hold people's past against them in the current moment, obviously, because we all grow and whatnot, but it is fair to consider. My takeaway from the music video was positive overall. From the outside, it does look murky, especially because the beginning has the surveillance footage. But honestly, after watching the music video, I think his heart was in the right place. I really do. What I'm hoping is this. This is my message to DaBaby if he's watching this, which wouldn't be too crazy because not a lot of people are talking about DaBaby right now, so especially like people with platforms of this size, right? What I think would be very good, my brother, okay? Jonathan Kirk, okay? I think what would be good is that perhaps use your visibility to get in touch with the lawmakers in Charlotte, so in North Carolina, so criminals aren't roaming these streets freely when obviously they are not fit to be in society.
He's a criminal
that,
himself.
In my opinion, would be the best outcome, because honestly, I don't want to hear stories like this anymore, man. Like, it's happening way too often.
Yeah, man. Now I guess that'll end off the video. I feel like what really should have happened is, I feel like he, I feel like he really was probably feeling some type of way, but at the same time, we've seen him since 2019, and he's, oh, Hail Mary, nigga caught that, and he takes every opportunity that comes. And that's just the Hail Mary that landed right in his arms. Oh shit, something tragic happened in my city or in my state. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's definitely getting on that. So I don't know about his cause or whatever. I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful or anything, but it's like all the coincidences of this, that. I'm just like, oh, I mean, regular DaBaby type of stuff. I would have thought he would have donated money himself. I don't know if he did or not. I'm not gonna speak on it like he didn't. I don't know if he did or not, but he put the GoFundMe, and it's probably in the right. His heart was probably in the right place. He also is from there. That's the reason why I feel like probably hits a home a little bit differently. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like there should be more research, more things put back into it. But yeah, that'll do it. Appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one.